Hi, this is Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devils Saturday. This is Devils After Dark, coming to you live from American Whiskey, the Attic. Streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, X Live, Twitch, and now on Instagram Live on the Let's Go Devils Network. I'm your host, Sam Woo, here with Scotty of Sirius XM Liquid Metal from his Beverly Hills studio.
Palatial estate. Come on.
Yeah. Well, you know,
not a small one-bedroom apartment, Sam Woo. A palatial estate. All right? Palatial estate. Actually, you look more like you're in the palatial estate these days over there at American Whiskey.
Or where I was sitting tonight, Section 20, Row 8.
Whoa. You're out of the single digits? You're back to double digits? Uh-oh.
I had the Sam salad 3 times.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did this come with the foot rub?
Good question.
Was there like the second intermission foot massage, to get you ready while the rest of us are just going to the bathroom? Sam Woo in his VIP Jonas Brothers section, he gets foot massages during intermissions, if you didn't know that.
Absolutely. While I'm gnawing on some donuts, from the dessert aisle.
Donuts and chicken wings and, of course, catfish. And then actually the foot massage is in the first period. And then no, excuse me. That's the second intermission. The first intermission, they exfoliate his skin.
Yes.
So he can, look the way he does here on camera, which I got to say.
Check out these guns.
I mean, he's the man of the hour, the tower of power, too sweet to be sour. Pretty, nice on the eyes over here.
Yeah.
That's Sam by God Woo.
Thank you, Scotty. You're looking pretty good yourself. Sorry about that. I just hit the wrong button
here. Well, you can see we're all in a good mood because, holy hell, the Devils won today.
Woo!
And everyone is happy and having a good time.
Yes.
Yay! Because at this point, it's gotten pretty much to the ridiculous era once again here. We're in our ridiculous era.
Yep.
Again, we thought we were only going to hit that last year, but once again, we are back in our ridiculous. How would Taylor feel about that? Repeating errors. I don't know if that's allowed. I'll have to ask some of my Taylor Swift superfan friends if that's allowed or not. But Sam Woo, I know there's a lot to talk about. I heard there was a big trade that went on yesterday. I'm sure there were a lot of wild theories and overreactions and fun things said all across the wonderful world of what we know as the internet. We'll talk about that. And then, of course, cue the Michael Scott surprised gif. 2 more injuries for the Devils.
Oh.
Wow. Happy weekend, everybody. Guess what? Your 2 new young, promising prospects that you've been so highly following and, highly invested in, injured.
It's almost like it's kind of like The Sopranos. Like, they're all of a sudden disappearing,
Yeah. Yes.
Mysteriously, too. Yeah.
What is going on? It's supposed to be the opposite. I thought we were the Sopranos of the NHL. We're the New Jersey team. What's going on?
I know. I feel like Johnny Sack right now in prison,
Did I ever tell you my commercial idea about like Paulie Walnuts leading, some of the Devils down into the basement? And he's like, "Oh, hey, these guys here, they're going to teach us how to shoot a slap shot. I got a target right over there." And then like the camera pans and it's like someone obviously squirming in like a bag, And you got like, say, I don't know, back then, you got like Patrick Elias and Scott Gomez being like, "All right, if you say so."
or
catch the Devils tomorrow night.
Or you take Palat to that wooden bridge. Before tonight, today, and to tell them, look down. If you don't score, look down. and then he runs off, and then at least had 2 assists today.
What was the oh, okay, all right. I was thinking of another thing. Okay. Never mind. We won't talk about Sopranos whackings for any Devils players. But hey, the Devils won today, so it's a good feeling. And they went out there with a very makeshift team, because, well, obviously all the injuries. Getting woken up to the wonderful news of Gritzuk and Nemitz both being injured now. We know Quinn Hughes didn't come over to the Devils, which I know this. We'll talk. I'm pretty fine with that. I'm A-okay with that. I think it was a smart move, but we'll discuss all. We'll discuss all. But a big win today, Sam Woo. Snapping that home game losing streak. Good feeling at the Rock. You can tell the fans were ready for some good feelings today.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like the crowd was dead. They were just like, come on, boys. Let's get a W. And I think that's a really good thing. That's a really good sign that this fan base still believes in this team.
Yeah, and
still invested.
And I'll try to sort through this and make sense of it all, because I know Max was texting me. He's like, this makes no sense. We won today. No, it does make a lot of sense.
It makes perfect. It makes perfect sense. Yeah, we'll talk about it. Let's do the recap, and then we'll bring the man of the hour, the Dusty Rhodes, or actually that was superstar Billy Graham, right? The man of the hour, the Tower of Power. Too sweet to be sour. No, Dusty said. Was that Dusty? I think it was, maybe both of them said it. Whatever. I obviously did not make that up myself. I am not that smart. Come on. But hello to everyone on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and X. How's it going? Talking about this Devils victory today, 4-1 over the Anaheim Ducks. And I will say, because they were playing the Ducks, the game was blacked out in my area for my ESPN Plus app. So I listened to the game with Maddie and Chico, and what a damn good job they do calling that game, I will say. I didn't even need to go to the app afterwards and look at all the replays, because they did a really good job just describing the action on the ice. I'm so used to hearing, not saying that Don and Dano are bad. It's just a different dynamic when you're listening to radio, because you have to describe so much more of what's happening in and hockey is such a rapid fire thing. On TV, you can let the picture and you just kind of navigate it through. But when you're on the radio call, you don't have that visual aspect. So you really have to be describing all those fine details going in and out. And it's just, I haven't listened to the radio call since the start of the season. And just good job, Maddie and Chico. Very well done, boys. Very well done. Much like the Devils today. We know Timo Meyer still dealing with the family emergency. That's going to be something. Obviously, it's a big deal going on. He's back in Switzerland. So just send our best out to Timo and, send him all the positive vibes you can, because obviously it's something serious that's going on. Then Grits, Nemitz getting hurt. We can talk about some updates from them for them coming up. No Quinn Hughes. I'm totally good with this. I think this was a smart move by Fitzy. I've seen a lot of the postings out there about what was on the table, what was off the table, blah, blah, blah. No matter what you read, Vancouver wanted Nico Hischier or Jesper Bratt, and they weren't going to get him. So that's the issue with that one. So we'll talk about that, but also Jake the Snake. Can he bounce back? Don't forget that last game, Markey got pulled after 3 goals. Jake the Snake let up, another 5. Now, we talked about the defense not being so good in front of him, but still, like to see the old Snake slither his way back into the W column, which he did in good fashion. And because I know we mentioned it the other day as kind of here's another thing. But in reality, and I call myself out on that, and I'm going to start doing it more. but we were talking about how bad the Utica, is that what I said? The Utica Comets, the Utica. It's the Utica Comic-Con of hockey. I can't even say it again. The Utica Comets have actually started to turn around a little bit. Been playing a lot better recently. And our man Lenny and LaChance, have started to get adjusted to the professional game. Lenny coming from Finland, LaChance obviously from BU, playing with Big Mike last year. I wouldn't be surprised to see those fellas get a call up at some point. Just saying. They had Maddie interviewed Utica's coach. First intermission, I think. Pretty good interview. If they post it, look for it. It's like 5 minutes, but it's really good about what's going on there with the Comets. They have been turning it around. So let's get into this game, which okay. The Ducks, no shots in the first 11 minutes, but somehow still get the first goal of the game from Troy Terry. What was that time? 13-18, his 10th of the year. And this one was kind of an unfortunate, like the Devils get a turnover and then Connor Brown loses an edge. And that creates another turnover for the Ducks. It was like simultaneous turnovers happening. And it puts the Ducks the other way. And then you get, Carlson and Terry, like already kind of behind the defense. I think it was, who was it? It was Luke, right? It was Luke and Brendan Dillon out there, these weird defensive combinations we're going to see with all these injuries and everything. Now, especially with Nemitz being out. So they're kind of already, Terry and Carlson are already kind of on the other side. And so it's a little hard for them to catch up right there. So Jake the Snake gives one up, pretty late there in the first period. Not pretty, on the second half, we'll say that. 13-18 from Troy Terry. A tough one, though, to put on Jake the Snake because of that basically a simultaneous giveaway. Devils are already started to transition. Oh, wait, hang on. It's going the other way. And the Ducks are still behind us now. Oh, good. So, Devils are down 1-0. Not the feeling you want at the Rock. But what have we been seeing against the Devils? A lot in this recent stretch. Teams, the Devils do something good, and then the team strike right back with a goal. Okay? So today was the Devils' turn to do that. And Steven Nason gets his second goal of the year. All right. It's 16:09 of the first period. Steph right by the side of the net over there. 3 minutes later. That's a response, though. That's what you want to see from this team. And it's guys that we have talked about that really need to get going. Lemico had did he have a 2-point game or a 3-point game? He had a 2-point game. And so did Andre Palat. He gets the assist on the empty netter at the end. I didn't catch that at first. But you got some guys here that you don't normally see on the scoreboard. Colton White. Remember when we were like, why the hell did they take Colton White out of the lineup? Of all the defensemen that have been getting plugged in and out with all the injuries and everything, he is, I don't know, to me, it seems like he's been playing the best, but I'm no NHL coach. But Lamico gets his first assist, first point of the year right there at 16:09, taking the pass from Brad and then sending it over to Steph at the side of the net. 1-1. The Devils tie it up. And yeah, I think maybe just expectations were so low, but it was such a good feeling when the Devils scored at that point. Because hell's bells, it hasn't been good. The defense has been Swiss cheese. The goalies have been just average. Where were the timely saves? And we know the offense has just gone to sleep. The power play's been atrocious. The penalty kill has been bleeding goals. So this was great. It was like, whoa, we're not getting shut out today. Goal in the first period. Here we go. Even with this depleted lineup that we're putting out there. But you know what? These are opportunities for these guys. Maybe some of them, like Lamico, maybe even Colton White. Maybe they can earn some stuff elsewhere. I don't know if they'll. I think Colton White's been a good. I think he's been an up and down player throughout his career. But he's really, he's taken this opportunity of his and running with it. So good for Colton White. Anyway, we tie it up 1-1, 3 minutes later. Nice response right there. And then in the second period, it starts out Devils go right on the penalty kill. And you're like, oh no, here we go. They're going to give up a power play goal. But no, they don't. And at 5:52 of the second period, DJ Paulie C is starting to heat up. And this is nice. This is one of those guys that we talked about. We need to see some supplemental scoring from. Well, now he's got 3 goals in 3 games because Paul Cotter makes it 2-1 coming from, don't look now, but Lamico. Can we call that like a natural Lammy? 2 primary assists in a row? That's the natural. I can't get a natural hat trick. Come on. We're going to call that the Lammy. Lamico! Primary assist. Paul Cotter. Colton White gets his assist as well, his first of the game. And man, Paul Cotter, like I said, we know he's got the mitts. We know he's got the shot. He's got those skills. Whatever it was, I don't know. But he's starting to look better. Would love to see him keep moving in that right direction. So Paul Cotter gets his 5th. Then all of a sudden the Devils get a 5-on-3 power play, and you're like, oh baby. But they get some good chances, but they don't put it home. Okay. But then another person who we're starting to see get on, a little bit of a roll now that hopefully he can stay healthy, which is obviously the biggest Achilles heel with this team. But Cody Glass gets his 6th of the year at 17:04. Far side over the glove. Shooting far side. Coming in. Whoop. That Jack Hughes-esque shot right there. Nasty. Far side over the glove for Cody Glass. His 6th coming from Palat. That's his 4th assist of the year. And Colton White right there. So we got a triple-double, right? Palat, White, and Lamico all with 2 points on the game. All in the assist column. What do we have over here? Oh, yeah, that was they were kind of working the triangle. Boom, Cody Glass. Very nicely done. And we're moving into the third. The big thing was Luke Hughes taking a pretty nasty hit there from Seneca. Now, obviously, I didn't see it exactly. Didn't seem like it was, it just seemed like the way Maddie and Chico described it, a big hard hit. So I don't know. I'll let you guys chat away. Chirp. Put some chirps out there in the chat, and we'll discuss that. But then Connor Brown, what can Brown do for you? Well, he can get an empty net goal at the end of the game over there. That's his 7th of the year. Palat gets his 5th assist coming at the 18-minute mark. So 2 minutes to go. Devils seal the deal, put the nail in the coffin. They go duck hunting and take down Anaheim 4-1. Jake the Snake bounces back after that previous effort, which that game, oh boy, against Tampa Bay. But either way, we put that in the rearview mirror and we move forward with this one. Good 60-minute effort all around. Listen, we know you can't play. Not every single shift is going to go your way, but what we've seen with this team is them just going flat for a period. And it's not just one game that this has happened. where it's like, man, they had a really bad second period today, but then they came back. No, it's every game where they go to sleep for like one period. Today, didn't have that feeling. So good on them for that effort. And they deserve that victory. They took advantage of an Anaheim Ducks team who is up and coming and very good, but right now is playing at 9:30 in the morning, their normal time. Maybe might be throwing their schedule off just a little bit. Yours truly was up. Well, I got up at like 9:25 and just rolled out of bed and started making coffee and put the radio on and listen to the game. But yeah, imagine, you're used to maybe, I don't know, like getting out of what do they do? 9:30? Maybe they're getting out of their morning workout or something like that. Probably just chilling, listening to some music, getting into some stretching, coffee time, little breakfast. No, game time. Hey, those are the breaks. And sometimes, and it happens to the Devils too, where it seems like they're playing at like 10 o'clock at night. So, but the Devils took advantage of it today, and hopefully they'll do it again tomorrow. Because the Hughes Bowl has been canceled. Cue another Michael Scott gift. Christmas is canceled. No more Hughes Bowl. That's okay. We'll talk about it. Want to know what you think? Real quick, shots on goal for the Ducks, 7, 11, 14 for a total of 31. Devils, 9, 8, 5 for a total of 22. Devils were dominant. This actually, I got to give this one a Pantera domination. 71%, 42 face-off victories to the Ducks, 17. Holy hell. Power play. Devils were 0 for 2 again, but the Ducks were 0 for 3. So the PK came through, but the power play is still struggling. 17 hits apiece. Devils only 12 block shots. The Ducks had 21. So they were doing a pretty good job of getting in those lanes, but, Devils took advantage of the stuff today. 14 giveaways, which, of course, we always want to see come down a little bit. But let's get, the man of the hour, the Tower of Power, too sweet to be sour. Sam, by God, woo!
Hey, Scotty.
Back in here, and we can talk about a lot of things, including your thoughts on YouTube and Instagram and X and Facebook and everywhere else. Talking some Quinn Hughes, talking some Devils injuries, and Sam Woo, the real question is, can this team do this again tomorrow? Because this was nice, this was cool, but it's one game against the West Coast team, play at like 9:30 in the morning for them. So, can they do this again, in a consistent... Now, obviously, with a lot of injuries, a lot of stuff going on there. What do you think?
Depends who's in net. I want Jake the Snake Allen in net tomorrow. You cannot put Markey in, and I understand you want him to find his game, but the reality is this team, the amount of injuries you have, you're playing the Vancouver Canucks, who has not had a very good season. You need to win that game. And I don't think the workload was that bad for Allen. Markstrom is struggling. Go with the same exact lineup tomorrow. Reward these players tomorrow. Unless they're banged up, reward these players tomorrow. And to make sense of this all, I've said this many times on the podcast, and I'll say it again. Simplify your game. You've got kids up here from the AHL that don't know any better, that are playing for the first time in the NHL, or second game or third game in the NHL. They want to make an impression. They're hungry right now. And they're going to do exactly what the coaches are going to tell them to do. The expectation is kind of like, well, how are we going to survive versus we're supposed to be winning every night. The pressure is off. It doesn't surprise me that they were able to play well tonight. What surprised me was they were able to dominate in certain areas of the game, such as face-offs with the Anaheim Ducks. And
That number's ridiculous, by the way.
Yeah, they did all the little things right. They, in the beginning of the game, Tom whispered to me in section 20. Thank you, Tom. Row 8 on the aisle. He said that.
Whoa! Hang on a second now.
Yep.
What you already got best friends in your fancy Jonas Brothers section over there? What do you guys? You going fishing over the weekend? Is that what's happening? What is this?
Yeah, Tom's like, hey,
okay.
I got an extra ticket. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. He waited for me, at the team store. Got me in.
Must be nice.
Yeah, got
Must
one of
be
these,
nice being Sam Woo.
Got these wristbands so I can have Sam salads at any time I want.
Wow. Whoa.
Yeah.
Man.
Once they started getting the Sam salads, that's when the Devils started scoring. So Tom said, just stay up there. We don't need you down here. Just stay up there. True story. In all seriousness, this is the type of hockey that the Devils should be playing. The Ducks are a good team. They're a good team this year.
Yes, they are.
So the expectation tomorrow is I'm not going to think wins or losses. I'm going to think of consistency. Can they replicate this tomorrow? Because if they can, then we know it doesn't matter how many guys are out right now. They have enough horses to stay afloat and move forward. They got 2 solid points tonight. I'll take that. With all that's happened, instead of focusing on the train wreck that has happened this week with injuries, let's focus on who we have in the lineup. Let's focus. You still have Nico Hischier. You still have Jesper Bratt. Jesper Bratt hasn't scored, that many goals in 15 games. I think it's just 1 goal in 15 games.
There's one the other day, yeah.
Yeah. And then suddenly it's like, Gritsik is suddenly out for the weekend, and I'm thinking, what? Did he overwork himself on Telegram? I don't know. Then you got Nemec. Oh, I don't want to even know how serious that injury is because we don't know. Because when the Devils are quiet, that tells me they're looking into it. That doesn't sound good at all. I don't want to speculate. I just want to I'm just talking about optics here. Just talking about optics. I'm not going to even speculate what it is, but it doesn't sound too good because it came out of nowhere.
Yeah, where's
at 9 a.m. this morning.
Max? What's going on? We need our our man on the street.
Yeah,
that's Max.
And then you got all these other.
We also have some super chats we have to get to. Don't let me forget.
Yeah, well, we'll get to them shortly. I saw the super chats. We appreciate that. But we'll get to that shortly. But the reality is, Sheldon Keefe is a good coach. He's a great coach. And there's no reason why the Devils can't be competitive each night. Today was one of those days. They had a team meeting after the game against the Lightning. They came out flat. Did they come out flat today? It was a much better effort. I think we're just looking for effort, and I think that's where where fans are getting pissed off is they don't see the effort there. But tonight,
do you think
different.
Do you think fans are looking in too small of a box, too small of a window? Because as our good buddy Max points out, what's this? Now, I will say little discrepancy, but not too much here. But the Devils are only 2 points behind the Islanders now for third in the division, both with 32 games. Look at that. 1 win, and the Devils are in the first wild card position. So when everyone was flipping out about the Devils being in last, look how fast that changed.
But they had every right to flip out, Scotty. That's just my opinion.
Okay. And that's
Devils,
fine.
The Devils are only lucky that's what's happening this season. Okay. They basically burned through all their capital of that 8-1 start.
Yes.
To be fair,
they've squandered that.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. They burned the burn rate was just like that, 5 in a row.
Yep.
So that negates.
That's like Sam Woo's iPod coming on, and I'm like, oh man, it's disturbed again. Here we go. Oh boy. Oh man. All right. Come on. What's next?
Oh, I thought you were going to say my burn rate. All the calories that I'm going to, burn.
No, I'm talking about
when I get home.
See, for me, burn rate is when a song plays too much, it gets burned. Audiences not hearing it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, a little shock jock talk. Okay.
No, that's just music programmer talk. There's no shock jock about it. Once the song gets burned, it gets burned, baby.
Okay. But yeah, so I forgot what we were talking about now. But
sorry.
Yeah, we got off talk about burn rates, and there's another burn rate when you go through cash. When you go through cash, what's your burn rate? I don't know. We're losing $1,000 a day.
Well, no. What we were saying is, Devils fans were burned out, because I'm saying, are they looking? I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I'm saying, are Devils fans, as many fans do, looking at too small a window sample size? Because they always say the team is, never actually their worst and never actually their best. They're somewhere in the middle here. So, I mean, like that's just, I'm just spitting the other. I'm not saying I agree with that sentiment or I disagree with it. I'm just spitting it out there as a throwing the other side, the other side of the coin for Sam Woo.
Now you got me thinking. Something's percolating in my mind. I wonder. I'm not going to talk rumors here, but I wonder, is it a coincidence?
We don't talk about rumors here.
Yeah.
And don't forget to catch our special podcast, Brady Chuck and his journey to the Devils, coming up later on this evening.
We just gossip like old friends.
There's nothing like that. Nothing. Okay. No.
Okay, I'll give you a little conspiracy question. I wonder if Nemitz getting hurt in practice in the morning had anything to do with the switcheroo to Minnesota yesterday.
I mean, that could be a possibility. That could be a
coincidence. It could be a coincidence. I'm not saying
it could be a coincidence.
Yeah.
But I would imagine, we've seen reports about other, but I can't fathom how Rutherford would go in there and not ask for Nemitz, who is right now has got so much heat on him. Yeah. I mean, in a good way. He's got so much, not heat, hype. He's got so much hype on him right now.
Yep.
And yeah, we've known that they need help down the middle. They need help in the center department, which is the place that the Devils need help as well. Yeah. So honestly, it didn't line up very well for a trade. What we were talking about the other day about a possible 3-team deal. You saw I sent you that thing about Ekman Larson going down.
Yep.
Toronto's going to be looking for some D-man.
Yep.
And they'll have some cap space now.
Yep.
With Tanev out, and then I got to check to see how bad that is, but that's now we got to wait and see what's going on with Nemitz, because if you're quick to ship Dougie Hamilton out, then you might be in some serious trouble if Nemitz is done for the season or going to be out for a long stretch of time.
Again, and the reports were, we'll let you know. So what's to let you know? We shall find out very soon, I would assume. But anytime, yesterday, late at 7:45 p.m. Eastern, we got word about Minnesota winning the Quinn Hughes sweepstakes. And then the next morning, you hear about Shimon Nemitz going down in practice, the previous day, mid-morning practice. And, I don't know if that's a coincidence, Scotty, but it could be a blessing in disguise, because me personally and you personally, we didn't want to do this trade because the timing, everything was not there. There's no reason to mortgage that much capital when you have a better, let's say, a better chance of signing him a year and a half from now. Now, Bill Guerin, it's been reported out there that Bill Guerin is on a flight to New Jersey because Quinn was with his family last night, the Hughes family, and he's going to pick him up. Bill Guerin, the GM of Minnesota Wild, also former Devil and Stanley Cup champion with the Devils. They're going to, for the next, at least till July 1st, they're going to wine him, dine him, and show him the Minnesota way, like they always do. But July 1st, the Devils may have a chance to make a trade then under their terms. Who knows? But I think Jim Rutherford was kind of rushing things because he wanted to do the rebuild right now. He wanted to get it done and over with. He's been whining about it for the last year. So publicly,
if I was Billy Guerin, I would 100% just plan on hanging on to Quinn Hughes until the trade deadline the following year, and then just unload him for a massive package.
Yeah. So
that's what I would do.
Yeah, and Bill Guerin is taking that risk right now for his club. But, they also, and somebody pointed this out on the
it's going to pay off in the end.
Well, they already got Kaprizov at $17 million AAV. I can't imagine what Quinn would command if he has an amazing run with the Minnesota Wild. The kind of money he's going to command. Are you going to tie up your
no, because the salary cap will be raised, so it'll be raised by then.
But you would be, in theory, committing over $30 million to two players of that. So you're talking about 1/3 of your salary cap.
We mean two players.
Kaprizov and Quinn Hughes.
Oh, for Minnesota.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I just for that. Quinn's not. He's not going to resign in Minnesota. He's going to come to New Jersey unless Bill Guerin thinks that he can trade like his entire team for Jack and Luke. Maybe it goes the other way. But I think what'll happen is they'll wine him and dine him and they'll do their best. That's what Billy's going to do. But then when the time comes, they are going to flip him for a ridiculous package to a playoff contender, especially if Minnesota may not be. You never know. Like we were all look at how we don't know what's going to happen with the Devils this year.
Yeah.
But you look at the injuries that have been plaguing them. So, you never know what can happen year in, year out. But I would imagine that Bill Guerin flips Quinn Hughes at some point for a massive package.
Well, look at what Carolina did last season. It didn't work out with Rantanen. That stunned everybody. And
it'll work with Quinn, but at some point, even if it's not some big name, team will have a defenseman go down, and they're gonna. It happens every year. Unfortunately, players get injured, and that's when you can go ahead and make that move and get a ridiculous deal. And that team can have their run to the cup or whatever. Maybe it'll be Minnesota. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see. But Billy might just try to stack the team for he might just try to hey, we got till the end of next year. Let's go for it. We got Quinn until next year. That's what he may say is we're going to do that. We're just going to stack the team and go for it 100% next year. Go all out. We'll see. Overall, I don't think it was a bad deal for the Devils. I mean, I think it's going to be a good thing in the long run. They don't have to worry about this anymore. They can focus on hockey. It's not all it's good, blah, blah, blah. The big deal with them is they still have to figure out what they're going to do with Palat and, Dougie. If they are going to move him now, we have to see how bad the injuries are with Nemitz.
Yeah.
So for me, I was more than happy. I know a lot of fans were upset, I heard. I didn't stay on the socials that long yesterday. So I know a lot of people were upset. But, I mean, when you think about it in the long run, I think it's going to be a better move for us to not make this trade when we're not in the power seat. And we're going to give up a lot of assets, for someone we can just sign for free. when they're a free agent. It just doesn't make a lot of sense.
No, it does not. It does not.
Especially if there was nothing really. I mean, we got Quinn Hughes, but we weren't even able to unload like a Palat contract or a Dougie Hamilton contract or something like that to offset. We couldn't even do that in this situation because nobody wants to go to Vancouver. Yep. So if you were upset about it, I get it. You have every right to think that way and have that opinion. I think in the long run, though, you may see that this was a better deal. But I'm open to debate, though, and that's what makes this show so much fun. And actually, we should get to
the super chats.
We've been gabbing. So Max says yes, this team makes no sense, but it kind of does. It kind of does, like we were talking about. Michael Hay is with you. Sam Woo, he says Allen can play tomorrow. Max says no, he's not. We have Robert Isaacson here. Okay, saying how about that effort? Devils 3 points out of the Metro. That's right, Max. All right, and let's get to our super chats. Mark Schwab. Woo! Mark Schwab with the super chat all the way from Switzerland. Finally a win. Oh, he's at a concert. Okay. I love Glass. Very nice. Very nice. Wayne Lamico. Wayne Gretzko. Krislad over there. And what is this? Lupus Notice. Jake the Snake Allen with a well-deserved W today. Thank you for the super chat, sir. Woo!
Absolutely.
Very, very nicely done. What's that?
Absolutely. I mean, Jake Allen just had he had that one save where he stuck out that pad as far as he could when the puck was on the ice in the goal crease. He stuck out that pad at the last second, split second, to make that save.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I would rather ride the hot goaltender. Believe me, Marky's going to have his chances to find his game. But right now, we need points. We need points.
We need him to find his game.
Yeah.
Because Jake the Snake cannot play every single game.
No.
He will tire out.
Yeah,
He'll be out of gas by the end of the season if that happens. And we can't do that. We need Marky to eventually find his game.
Yep. Absolutely. It takes a team to win. Hope that Marky
look what happened. Look what happened last year. We saw, guys like Brendan Dillon, who we know are a little bit older, by the end of the season, they were playing so well, and then by the end of the season, they started making all these mistakes. And we're starting to see that a little bit on the defensive side already because we know they're playing heavy minutes.
Yep.
By the way, great defensive effort by Luke Hughes today. This is his best game in like 2 weeks, I feel like.
I think this is the team's best game in a long time, a 60 minutes hockey.
Yeah.
I know Chico doesn't like that term, but they played pretty much a 60-minute game end to end right from the start.
Yeah. And like we said, we get what Chico's saying, but what we're saying is just don't go to sleep for a whole period, repeatedly, over and over and over and over again, every single game.
Yeah.
Yes, Wimpy thoughts are with Timo and his family right now. Great effort, says Robert Isaacson. Mark Schwab's going to see the Stereophonics. Okay, have fun, dude. Always something. Keith said Nemitz won't be day-to-day, so maybe a couple of weeks. Ugh. Great. Corbin says huge win. Robert was actually saying the same thing, Sam Woo. He was wondering, just like Sam Woo, did the Nemitz injury have any potential impact on Vancouver going to the Wild play? Oh, I guess you guys were. I think you guys were on the same wavelengths. I think you were saying it as Robert Isaacson was typing it, Sam Woo. So look at that.
Well, I actually saw Robert Isaacson today at American Whiskey. He came up.
Were you guys discussing this prior? Is that what's going on? You guys had a little pre-show, a little prep?
No, I gave him some Ranger Suck fortune cookies though.
Oh. Nicely done. Okay, so let's see here. Bill Agnew, does Nemitz Mercer, a good prospect and a 25 first rounder, get it done? Yeah, I mean, apparently, I don't think so. because I think that's essentially what Fitzy was putting on the table, like Sam Woo had been mentioning numerous times, when we were talking about these trade discussions, what they might be offering. But we know that Vancouver, they want a center. And obviously, one of these centers, named Jack Hughes, is not getting traded. So the first person they're asking for is Nico Hischier.
Yeah.
Now, theoretically, you're going to say Dawson Mercer because he has played center before, but Dawson, I don't know if he really is a center. So I think he's more of a winger. So I think the Canucks were being like, no, you want Quinn Hughes? It's going to start with Nico Hischier. And I think Fitzy rightly said, no. And who knows? They may have been asking for more draft picks as well.
Yeah.
Or I think they were trying to pry everything they possibly could out of the Devils because they know that's where Quinn, he wants to go play with his brothers. Of course he does.
Or you never know. You never know. I'm going to imagine a scenario that Rutherford and Fitzy were trying to get something done this week. Fitzy's trying to work out the contracts and money. And then that call Friday afternoon, hey Jim, it's Tommy Fitz here in Jersey. Hey Tommy, what's going on? Hey, we got a little bit of a problem here. Shimon got hurt in practice, and they're probably like, "You idiot!" And then just went to Minnesota for the trade. That's what I think. Yeah, that's my conspiracy theory.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was something along those lines.
I can't imagine if that was the call. If I was Tom Fitzgerald, I feel like an idiot. You didn't pull the trigger faster. If he was really trying. Again, we don't know all the details behind the scenes. We're just
I wouldn't have pulled the trigger on it anyway. So yeah. So let's see here now. Devils in disguise. The solution you keep. Get rid of the missing one. I don't know what that was about. Robert says the Luke hit was clean. It was just a big hit. Okay. I mean, that's basically what Matt and Chico said as well. Devils equivalent to the Wild trade would probably have been Nemitz, Mercer, Shane LeChance, and an unprotected first. Yeah. But again, like I said, I think Vancouver was looking for a Nico Hischier. And this was obviously their best pivot. And if this is their best pivot, and we've heard about, Philly being in there and Detroit, I mean, you can tell Philly and Detroit both told Rutherford, like, no, dude, I'm not giving you that much.
Yeah.
So for a guy who obviously, especially if you're Philly, for a guy that's obviously going to go play for one of our chief rivals in a year and a half. Oh, man. Can you feel the bass, Swimpy? Is LeChance worthy of a first? I don't know. Well, we're going to see because, like I was saying, the Utica coach was on and he was talking him and Lenny up pretty well. So I have a good feeling. And he was saying he was actually surprised. Nothing against the X-Man getting his call up. But was surprised that maybe LeChance and Lenny, one of them wasn't called. I think before this season is done, we're going to see them. LeChance already played a game or two, but maybe in a more consistent fashion.
Yep.
Devils in the skies. He was agreeing with you on something. Yes, Sam. Exactly. You should get that quote framed and hang it up. Or every time Mrs. Wu texts you something, be like, "Did you see what Devils in Disguise put in the chat?" And then videotape Mrs. Wu's reaction to her kicking your ass afterwards, and then
no,
we'll all get a good laugh afterwards.
First is the eye roll, then it's the ass kicking. That's how it usually happens. And then and somehow I'm stuck cleaning the toilets afterwards, Because I got to do the chores around the house, which I've neglected because of this condensed schedule. That's my excuse.
Mrs. Wu goes.
This condensed schedule. I don't have time.
Yeah. Mrs. Wu goes to where Sam thinks is his secret hiding spot for all of his snacks, and then she just grabs him and she just beats him over the head with a turkey wing or something like that for a little while.
It's kind of like that. It's kind of like that scene out of Sopranos when Ginny Sack was getting to his snacks and Johnny Sack catches her and he's like, "My blood sugar is low." That's my excuse. My blood sugar is low.
Oh man!
I needed all those snacks. Anyway,
let's see here. Always something says short-term lower body injury isn't enough to derail the trade. Okay, fair enough. Okay. Devils didn't have the cap room because Dougie isn't going to that shit show. Oh, sorry, I said a bad word.
You Grant Marshalled the podcast.
I Grant Marshalled it, yeah. But yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head right there. Always something. I think that was a big part of it. Palat, I've been saying this. We've been saying this. No player with any sort of team control is wanting to go to Vancouver. Everybody is trying to get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
This is the same thing that happened in Calgary like 2 or 3 years ago. It's happening now in Vancouver. For whatever it is, like we said, the California teams have been able to turn things around. You can see the Ducks, the Sharks, and the Kings. But the Canucks and Flames have just been spiraling here.
Yeah.
So they both, the Flames are already into it. They've got some ex-Devils locked up for the next number of years. They're starting their rebuild 2.0, and I think, the Canucks are going to have to do that as well.
Agreed.
So if you got any sort of movement control, you're like, hell no. But if Toronto comes calling, I think that would probably be a little bit more favorable to one Dougie Hamilton. If I had my choice, Toronto or Vancouver, I think I'm going to pick Toronto. Come on. And Toronto still is really, it's not that far from Jersey.
I saw a meme today. It said the Toronto Maple Leafs are like the Titanic, bottom of the Atlantic.
What? Well, we'll see, but they may come calling. And we know, they've got talent on that team. We'll see about oh, your suggestion was a joke. Oh, okay. Well, sorry. Trade proposal, Brat Casey and a first for Forsberg or Tage Thompson.
Well, Brad.
What do you think about that, Sam Woo?
Brad has rights, though. He's going to nix that all day long. So
probably,
it won't work.
Always something says I need to be muted a while from my profanities. I don't know how that's going to work out, but
Yeah. I know how to ban people.
Oh, man. Yeah, Robert, I think so, too. I think the Nemitz injury might have given Fitzy a little bailout leverage there as well.
Yeah.
Be like, well, sorry, I can't do it. Well, I'm going to try. But it is what it is, and I think for the long run, it's going to be in our favor. It's not like he's playing on the Rangers or the Flyers or, some team that we're going to see a whole ton of. But I would not be surprised to see old Quinn hanging out the arena every now and then, which would be a good sign for things to come.
I'm wondering, Scotty, if all this Quinn Hughes saga was affecting the play or not, knowing that player
100%. 100%. Nobody knew who's going to be possibly shipped out.
Yeah.
Hell, you're talking about your captain of the team being the person that that Vancouver's trying to acquire. That's a big shakeup. That's a big deal.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, I would say that this whole situation, and then we're not even really talking about it, but listen, I'm sure whatever's going on with Timo is like the team is aware of it, and they're probably a little affected by it as well.
Yep.
So there's a lot, and there's just this season has gone bonkers already, but all we can ask is that this team goes out there and just tries like they did today and just plays a solid game. They're not going to win them all with this lineup, but if they go out there and they play hard, it's 3-0, 6 minutes into the first period. Those games, no. If you play hard and you lose 4-3 or even 4-2 or something like that, or, just give that effort for that full game.
Yep.
And, the fans, trust me, I grew up in New Jersey. We will respect that hustle.
Of course.
Even if you don't come out on top, as long as you guys are out there hustling and trying and giving that full effort, the fans will be behind you, win or lose.
Absolutely.
So let's hope that tomorrow they can bring this same energy that they had today, because the lineup is still going to be depleted. There may be some different guys in there. There may be some call-ups happening. Once we find out what's going on with Grits and Nemitz, and maybe a little bit more clarity. But you got back-to-back games here, so I don't know what all those technical legalities are for GMing and all that, for these moves and everything, but I'm sure there's some combing over some of the rules going on right now for Tom Fitzgerald trying to figure out what the lineup is going to be tomorrow.
Yeah.
Maybe it should just be the exact same thing. Hell, they won.
I think so. I think so.
But yeah, thank you everyone, by the way. If you came down to American Whiskey beforehand, afterwards, Sam's got some people stopping by. Very well done, I will say, because like I always ask you to do, you have asked Sam Woo for a selfie right in the middle of the show when he is the most busiest. And that's what we ask you to do. So good job to our listener who was just there with Sam as he's texting me. People are asking me things. I'm trying to produce the show. What's going on? They won't leave me alone.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Because you're a star, kid. Like I said, remember, easy on the eyes, Sam Woo, the man of the hour, the tower of power, too sweet to be sour.
Yeah, tell that to Mrs.
Sam, I got blue.
Anyway.
Well, in your next argument, that's how you can end it. All right. You know what I did the other day? Do you remember Saturday Night Live? Remember Will Ferrell when he had that sketch where he would end things with, he would be in an argument and he would say, I drive a Dodge Stratus. You remember that? All right. Never mind. Let's wrap up the show, Sam.
Yeah. All right.
Way to bring all the momentum to a crashing halt. Let's hope the Devils don't do that tomorrow. They continue with the good hockey vibes that were there at the Prudential Center. And, we'll be back talking about it here with Game Day Live, Devils After Dark, and then, of course, the Let's Go Devils podcast. Big show to Sunday night. Quinn Hughes, Bowl no more. Christmas is canceled. It'll just be the Vancouver Canucks and the New Jersey Devils.
Absolutely. I want to thank all those tuning in. Dropping the podcast in about 20 minutes. The Morning Woo, Game Day Live, and Devils After Dark tomorrow. Same thing.
Thank you, Jenny, by the way, too.
Yep. Thank you to Jenny. Till next time, let's go Devils.